Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning, Rick. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay on this? This is my wife's Surface.
Yeah, I can hear fine.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I just made you co-host.
Okay.
I just made you co-host.
Perfect. Would you mind if I check to make sure my PowerPoint comes up okay? Just a different computer.
Okay, let me turn this off then. Hold on.
And then you can put that back on. I just want to make sure I've got it set up right. There.
There you go.
Okay. Share.
I see you're dressed for the holidays too.
Well, especially for this, yeah.
Yeah.
Files? No. Let me see. All right, I'm not seeing it. So interesting. All right, what do I got to do?
I know you're not asking. That was a hypothetical. I mean, that was a question. What kind of question was that?
Yeah, well, I'm not seeing my PowerPoint, so just shrink this. Get that out of there. Try it again.
Good morning, everybody that's already signed in.
There it is.
Okay.
Can you see it?
I can now, yeah. You've got it in your individual slides and your one big slide.
Okay. Let me get ready here. Oops.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to get it set up so I can see it the way I need it. Let's see here. Oh my.
Go to the very bottom.
No, I did.
Okay.
Stop sharing. Screen sharing has stopped this. All right, let's try it this way. Yeah, it's not in there when I do that. Oh boy. Okay.
It's good you're practicing now.
Well, it's just a whole new computer.
Yeah.
You see it?
Nope. I
Nope.
see you.
Okay. So let me can I enlarge that? See if that there it is. Now
There.
you got it.
I've got I've got your individual slides and your main slide. There you go.
Oh, totally different. So
Is
I
it?
guess yeah. So I guess I got to minimize. Figure out how to do this. Our pictures are in the way.
Mine isn't. Mine's full screen. Except I can see your face.
Yeah. Let's see here. Funny. That's gonna take some getting used to. So I'm on a Surface, so it's a whole different format,
Oh yeah.
I guess. Okay. So whenever I stop sharing, if I can pull it up easily so you can run your stuff. How
I'm
we
not
doing?
I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to run my stuff. You're fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is a nice intro.
I don't know if I told you, but this picture of Santa Claus many, many years ago, I was walking along Waikiki Beach. It was Christmas Day. I was at San Souci, Kaimana Beach, and I decided to walk along Waikiki Beach, and I ran into that Santa Claus.
Cute.
Yeah.
He looks awfully young though.
Well, it was a long time ago. That was probably 25 years ago.
Oh, okay. So Santa Claus has aged after that. I got you.
Do I need a Santa cap too?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can go with a Hawaii one or a Seahawk one.
I'm sorry?
I can go with a Hawaiian Santa cap or a Seahawk one.
It's my Princess Santa Claus hat. See my crown?
Yeah, I do.
Uh-huh.
There, how's that?
Good.
Yeah.
Good morning, Sen.
Good morning.
Morning, Pauline.
Hi. Okay.
Oh, cute. Cute. Cute, Lori.
Oh, it looks good.
Morning, Sue. I haven't muted everybody yet because I wanted to just say good morning and hear your nice voices. And when we get started, I'll mute.
Share our
Good
Christmas.
morning.
What, Rick?
Share our Christmas lists and all that kind of thing. Ho ho ho.
Yeah. I'm checking who's been naughty or nice twice. We watched the Santa Claus 2, and the Santa Claus 3 on Thanksgiving Day. So I'm all in a
Oh,
fest.
you're ready.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Did I send you my rotary reading of the Grinch Who Stole Christmas?
I don't remember seeing it, Rick.
Well, I'll send it again. Yeah. I got all decked out in the whole Shaka Santa Claus outfit and read it for our literary committee.
Oh, really?
So I think today we'll probably send that out this weekend to the kids, the Keiki.
You ate half. You ate half of it. This one. bears an uncanny resemblance to... Hold on, are you talking about me? Yes, you should have found this. The resemblance is undeniable. I'd say it's identical. See? Twins. But wait, having bright colors is nice, but doesn't it attract predators? You think that? Sure. Having bright colors is a survival strategy for it. A survival strategy? How so? Insects with bright picture patterns are very often venomous. Color me impressed. So when a predator attacks a victim, and great glance at defensive, he will learn to associate bright colors with danger. The next time he encounters a brightly colored object, he will think twice about attacking. The bright colors warn predators who will bug off. That's not all. Some non-venomous insects, bright colors do fool predators and protect themselves. A reverse disguise. What a bright idea! For the insects of Costa Rica, the more conspicuous they are, the better their chances for survival. Wait, so does that mean the insect with my face is this? Well, my advice is to look, but don't touch. Speaking of conspicuous insects, there's one.
Okay, Rick, I just muted everybody so you can unmute yourself when you're ready.
How's that?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So quiet now.
I know.
We'd be singing Christmas carols or something.
We could. Everybody up for We Wish You a Merry Christmas?
We probably lose a few if I start
I
singing.
know. Let's don't ruin the morning, all right?
I'm best to blend in the background.
I'm the backup band in the back, outside. Well, we decorated one facility yesterday. We're decorating the other facility today.
Oh boy.
And then I'll try to start in my house Sunday or whatever, because I'll be tired of decorating by that time.
Right? You have Christmas trees and everything, or just decorations?
I'm sorry?
You have Christmas trees and everything, or just decorations?
Oh, trees and everything.
Oh yeah.
We've got 5 Christmas trees at St. Timothy's, and we've got 4 at Mary Savio.
Wow. Oh wow, that's a lot of decorating then.
Well, St. Timothy's is huge,
Yeah.
and I'm getting more stuff because even with all the decorations that I have of it's still kind of there.
I used to do a winter holiday dance because of course we had everybody coming, but it was in a gym. I think I told you this before. Halloween dance, all that stuff. So I quickly learned the bigger the decoration, the better.
Yeah.
And we got to the point that we had giant blow up things, plugged in.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea.
Actually, we had the Grinch. We had a blow up Grinch that was what was that thing? 14 feet tall, I think it was.
Wow.
Everybody was, I think more people were posing for pictures with that than they were with Santa.
Well, I tried to find a 12-foot artificial pre-lit tree. There is not one on the island.
Oh.
And some of the places like Home Depot and Lowe's, you couldn't even order it.
No.
So Lowe's told us they were expecting 2 in sometime last month, but you couldn't reserve it. You couldn't pay ahead. You couldn't do anything. You just had to be at the door when they unloaded it. So
Couldn't grease the wheels. Huh?
yeah. So we got a 9-foot tree, and it's perfect. It's really pretty. So
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, how was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was quiet but wonderful. We cooked all day for two of us. And just had watched those three movies about the Santa Claus and
Yeah.
just had a good old lazy day.
Oh,
How was
fantastic.
yours?
Yeah, it was really special. It was a good day.
You delivered
So-
meals, didn't you?
No, we had the day off, and although we offered to volunteer, they had plenty of folks outside of Hawaii Meals on Wheels corporate. Yeah, a lot of volunteers. So they, I don't know if you remember, we had a fundraiser, and we
Yeah.
sold out of the turkeys. So I started my day by going up and picking up our turkey dinner, which was remarkable. So we didn't have to do anything except serve
Oh,
it.
you didn't cook.
Yeah, nope, just um, what was it? Creative Catering. It's Zippy's basically,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they do a lot our frozen meals for Meals on Wheels. So they held the fundraiser for us. We sold out. We wanted more turkeys, but they sold out. So that was that. And then in the evening, well, I watched football. Although the third game was canceled, which is
Yeah.
the Ravens one. And then we Zoomed with family from around the world, which was really special.
I did too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what I did too. Like, we Zoomed with all my kids.
Yeah, I mean, that was really nice. So we had what 22 people logged on. So I suppose total with, because there were 4 or 5 in some of the places, we probably had 40 people,
Wow.
everyone checking in. Yeah, so it was pretty special.
I don't know. I forgot that. That was the most important part of my day, was talking to the kids.
Right, that was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to
That-
see my brand new first great grandchild in person. Well, on Zoom, but got to see him.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a new arrival too, and although they're just across the street, I've only seen him once because they're very careful about social distancing. So we've been careful as well. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. But my computer went down. That happened right as we were going to Zoom.
Lovely.
So so you're on one of those. You're on one of those on my messenger. So it says you didn't send it, and neither did the person that I tried to delete. That was a mistake because that's what crashed all my computers, my laptop, just trying to get it off. Delete crashed it. I was trying to report it, but it just touching it triggered a chain reaction. So I'll probably be visiting the geeks this afternoon. I'm trying to find an independent person to help me fix it so I don't lose everything. I got a lot of
I
stuff.
can give you a phone number of our guy.
Oh, if you could, that would be great. Just text it to me.
Okay.
Yeah, because not that I don't like the geeks, but they're very they basically deleted everything last time I was there. That's not what I need right now. Fortunately, this presentation, I put it on a thumb drive because I already did it with the Kapuna network. So I have it luckily, but
I started putting in the directions for the workshop on the emails that the Zoom link opens at 8:30, but the program doesn't actually start till 9 because I had a bunch of people sign in really early. Thank you, ladies, for being here early, by the way. But it looks like they've taken me up on my suggestion to wait until later on to sign in, so they wouldn't sit here and look at me.
right. We're gonna have a lot of ding ding dings as we get started, huh?
Yeah, we have about 140 people registered for this one.
Nice. Well, I'm kind of excited about this one. So I did it with the Kapuna network already once. It flows pretty good.
Good.
A little different than the other ones that I typically do. Yeah, so hope people enjoy it. Did you look at it?
I looked at some of it. I didn't look at all of it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't download it as a PowerPoint to send because it was too big. So I just forwarded the link that you sent me instead of downloading PowerPoints.
Yeah. It's just I get kind of carried away with my pictures and
Well,
Yeah.
they're pretty.
yeah. you know, I took them just for this, yeah.
That one of you and Susan's cute.
Yeah. Yeah, that was yeah, we'll talk about that. That was Palama Settlement, my first year.
Really?
Yep. Did that 3 years in a row. Now, not this year though. Not this year.
Santa Claus won't be having many kids on his lap this year.
No, they're gonna have to run around and hand deliver gifts, you know. That's 500 gifts we gave away. Or actually, they said last year was 1,000 gifts we gave away.
Wow.
I don't know what they're. Yeah, I should ask my cousin what they're doing. Maybe help with that. Shaka Santa Claus could do house calls, I think.
I'm trying to.
It's a good way to lose about 5 pounds, I suppose, if I did that.
Yeah.
And the suit and all.
Well, I want to tell a story about my meltdown yesterday.
Oh.
And it was the stupidest thing. Well, it wasn't stupid, but I was sad because I couldn't be with my kids. And good morning, Karen. So I was a little sad about that. But when I'm trying to get these people admitted, hold on.
You want me to do that while you're talking?
Yeah, you could. That's right. You can do that. Anyway, I was sad because I couldn't see the kids, but I was happy to get to talk to them on Thanksgiving Day. So yesterday morning, I had to go by Walmart to get something for one of the facilities. And I walk in, I'm seeing people with loads of toys and stuff like that. And it dawned on me that this is Black Friday. And before, I could never have gotten in Walmart for anything on Black Friday. And it just hit me hard that things are so different now. And not having a crowd at Walmart upset me.
Yeah.
So I called my daughter because she and I used to go every Black Friday morning. We would go, we'd get up at 4:00, go hit Target and Walmart, go have breakfast, then go to the mall or to Macy's and the other places, and that was our tradition for years. It was really dumb, but we had a good time. But so yesterday when I realized what was going on, and I realized there were crowds like that on the day, but in the morning when it's usually really packed, there was nobody there, and it just made me so sad. And that's the first time that this world change really affected me. So I called my daughter and I was crying. And I said, "We can't even have our annual early morning shopping spree anymore," and blah blah blah. Anyway, so after I got through that, she was really worried about me when I started that crap. So she called me 3 times yesterday to make sure I was okay. I said, "Yeah, I'm fine now. I just needed to get out of my system because it hasn't bothered me. It hasn't bothered me because things have just, I'm keeping on, and the business never closed, and my family's safe. All of my friends are healthy, and it just that one thing just triggered it. So it's kind of interesting that it was in the back of my mind that one thing would upset me. So anyway, but that's my story.
Well, I mean, it goes along with this presentation. Our association with the holidays is huge. Lifelong history for most of us.
Traditions and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm better, and I've got my Santa hat on, and I'm just a happy camper. Good morning, Donna from Kauai.
We have a tradition here where each of the families forever have hosted, the gatherings. We're actually up next for Christmas and also New Year's. And so the person that does Thanksgiving did that. When it came her turn to talk, she couldn't stop crying.
Really?
Because she hosted, oh gosh, she's 60 years, I suppose, hosted the event. So it was really, it was really hard for her.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose weight this way though, because I don't have to feast so many times.
Do what?
I'm going to lose weight this way because I won't have to feast as many times.
Yeah. I'm still cooking. I don't care. I'm baking cookies, and I made 8 pies for my staff, and
yeah.
just had a good old day.
But with family, you have to try everybody's. And so we have gatherings of like, 40, 50 people. That's a lot of food.
Yeah. We've got about 2 more minutes according to my watch.
Yeah. And you're going to do an intro then?
Yes, sir.
The whole, yep.
Just a short one.
Okay.
I don't want to interrupt any of your time because I know that you have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to cover all of it, as I said before. Some of it's just for people to have later. I'll repeat that later.
Uh-oh, I lost somebody.
Somebody, they'll come back.
Thank you, Sharon. I'm the queen of Christmas. You see my little tiara up there. My staff at Hau'oli, we have so much fun on holidays. So at Halloween last year, I was Snow White. My 7 staff were the dwarfs, and they each had their name across their hat, and they had the T-shirts and everything. It was so cute. And then this year for Christmas, Scott's going to be Santa. I'm Mrs. Santa, and
Sure.
the kids all my staff are dressing up like my elves.
Oh, fantastic.
So it's gonna be a lot. We're gonna take pictures and have a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Okay, let's wait 2 more minutes and then get started, Rick. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, yeah, because you're more people coming. 99 now.
And there's some of the people that are on their phones, the non-video participants is a different number. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know that before. I forgot that though.
Yeah.
How
I
do
did.
how do you track those folks, Kathy?
They come up on the list at the end
Okay.
after I pull up the meeting.
And so your new place opened?
Yeah, we opened on October 5th.
That's what I thought. How's that going?
It's building slowly but surely. I had hoped to have about at least 20 participants by the end of the year, and it looks like it might be possible because we have several applications out.
Oh, sure.
So, good morning, Clarita from Kauai.
Oh, my chat box is hidden. Let's see here.
Good morning from Maui, Doreen.
Free chat. Oh, let's see.
All right, I think we'll go ahead and get started. I'll do my normal introduction that I have to find a little spiel every time. But thanks for joining us for our final Dementia in the Family workshop. And this is so apropos, it's Rick's presentation of Holiday Survival Kit. So it comes just at the right time, yeah. I have to talk about Rick, can you let those people know while I'm talking?
Yeah, what happened here? I lost track of it.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. No.
I have to talk about the generous support from the grants from the City and County of Honolulu and from the May Templeton Hopper Fund and the Theodore A. Vieira Fund from the Hawaii Community Foundation. And then I've listed, you guys have a list of all of our sponsors. I decided to have chat instead of running that PowerPoint about the sponsors this time because you guys have seen them several times. But you'll get all the resource materials from the folks that are our sponsors when I do the mailing at the end of in a couple of weeks, actually. So, and you know, all the recordings of all the sessions are on the website. You know, I hope you all have found those if you needed to see them again. And the people that missed the program had asked about them as well. And by the way, I still don't have Dr. Balaz's PowerPoints. I know a couple of you have asked about them. I swear as soon as she sends them to me, I'll send them on, okay? Everybody's muted except the speaker and myself. And I love to see your faces, so don't mute your pictures, please. Let's see. And again, if you have more than one person viewing this, please send me a chat message. Tell me how many people, because I include all the numbers for these sessions to the grant people. You know, if you have a question, you can go to the bottom of your screen to the chat box and just type it in, and Rick will be answering those questions as we go along, or maybe at the end. I'm not sure how he wants to do that yet. Tons of you have done the pre-test for today, and thank you so much for that. But if you haven't done it, please do. And then also, oops, I'm trying to multitask here, so it's not working too good. Anyway, so the post-test and the evaluations are very important too. And again, I have to send all that information that I get from forms to the grant folks. So I appreciate you filling those out. The resource materials, since this is the last session, which makes me kind of sad, it'll be a couple of weeks before I get all the packets together to mail out. So rest assured you will get them. It's just going to be a little bit. And again, if you didn't give me your complete address and name, I can't send them to you. So if you want to check back to make sure you did, please do, because I want you to get everything that we talk about. And that's basically all I have to say. Let me just tell you about the caregiver support group that will be on December 7th at 6:30 in the evening. And if you'd like to be involved in the caregiver support group, we have a great group of folks already. But if you'd like to join us, send me an email and I will send you the Zoom link closer to time. So now let's start the fun. Rick, it's all yours.
Well, thank you, Kathy. And are you recording, Kathy?
I am.
Fantastic. So I'm Rick Tabor, and Kathy and I go a ways back. We're in several things together. I won't bore you with all of those. I'll let Kathy start admitting people though. So, you know, 2-year sadness, an ending just means a new beginning. So right after this, we start again anew. So this holiday survival kit. So I'm a mental health professional, been in the field I started in 1975. Real briefly, I was stationed at Hau'oli Marine Corps Air Station as a field medical corpsman in 1976. If some of you have seen me before, you've heard this before, but I ended up randomly being the petty officer in charge of the mental health clinic, and that kicked off my mental health career. It's a whole story, but I won't take time on that. You can contact me later. I'll tell you all kinds of stories. For a few years, I was working with Right at Home doing in-home care. I was their operations manager. And just before COVID, we took a break from that. And I feel very fortunate that I did. And I got very, very, very active in a lot of nonprofits that I've been active in, but even more. So currently, I'm going to be serving on 4 boards here pretty quick. Rotary, Kakua Council, Alzheimer's Association. There's just several, HPGS. And most recently, Generations Magazine hired me to help them out. So I've started helping them out. And real quick, we're going to start webinars on the third Wednesdays of the month, starting December 16th. And they'll be they're going to be brown bags. So they're going to be brown bag lunch webinars that anybody can join. And just like Kathy just mentioned, those will also be recorded and saved on the generations808.com websites. We're also starting a radio show, and I believe the radio show is going to start this Sunday. It'll be every every week on 101.1 Oldies. Sunday mornings they have talk radio, and we're going to start a Kapuna resource kind of show on that line. So that's kind of what's coming up that we're involved in. This here, so I'll just move into this, the Holiday Survival Kit, a reality check on mindfulness. I like to say when I talk about mindfulness that it's a reality check. Mindfulness, is a wonderful thing, but then there's also reality. And part of mindfulness is dealing with reality, which we've all been dealing with since I guess it's March 16th that we started here on the islands dealing with the COVID pandemic situation. And of course, that's changed everything. But this Holiday Survival Kit, this goes back to my days at Seattle Mental Health. My wife and I moved from Seattle to here, back home here a few years ago. And I was at Seattle Mental Health for 30 years. And I would say close to about maybe for 20 years, I was doing the Holiday Survival Kit with a team of mental health clinicians. And it was really a lot of fun. We would go to the corporate offices around Seattle. So like Microsoft, Nintendo, Boeing, there's a Delta Dental, several places. And we would travel with massage therapists, and Starbucks, the very first Starbucks, which was in Pike Place Market, would supply us with coffee and and then Dahlia Lounge, which is a Tom Douglas restaurant, with pastries and stuff. So the best of the best. And we go to these places and we'd go into their offices, and the massage therapist would give people massages in their chairs, and we would present. And that was long before computers. So we'd have flip charts and taping stuff up all over the place. Anyway, so I took some of that information and I just kind of spun it into our Kapuna world for caregivers and taking care of our Kapuna, and turned it into this presentation that I've started doing. And so I'm excited to share it with you. If you've seen the link, it's fairly lengthy. We obviously won't have time to get through everything. I'm probably going to get about halfway through. We're going to we do a relaxation exercise, but it's all fairly self-explanatory. So please do take time to read through it. Started. Let's see here. There we go. I'm on a new computer here because I had an issue with mine. So bear with me. First off, there's a Shaka Santa Claus me with my lovely wife. And that picture is us at the Palama settlement, where for Christmases for the past 3 years, I've helped out with their holiday party. And we give out about 1,000 Toys for Tots gifts to the keiki there at Palama settlement. And my cousin is the administrator there. So that's how that all happened. So today we're going to examine some holiday stress causes and facts. We're going to measure our level of holiday stress. I can say it. We're gonna start with that actually, and we're gonna discover ways to manage the holidays, and we're gonna do some experiential fun exercises, and then also have holiday trivia. So Kathy, what I'd like to do is, once I do the holiday, just before I do the holiday trivia for each section, we'll take the questions from that section, and then we'll do the holiday trivia, and then we'll move to the next section. So those will be. So that way you won't forget, that it'll be more relevant to what we actually just talked about. So if you want to take notes, grab some paper and a pen, let's go. We're going on a sleigh ride here. So here we go. So to start with, I'd like to get, I'm going to skip this one real quick. Oh no, we're going to do this. I'm going to put it all up here though. So the meaning of, just think of each holiday. So as you may have heard Kathy and I talking about our Thanksgiving. So I always say the holidays start with Halloween. So what did Halloween this year mean to you? And what does it usually mean to you? So think about, in two terms, because we're going to be back in the swing of normal kind of activities after COVID. So what does it mean to you traditionally? What does it mean to you now? So Halloween, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, for our family, each one is kind of different. Family traditions, memories, plans. And then we're going to talk a little bit about and think about, as you're going through this, your 2020 plans, which I'm sure you're already thinking about because we've already had Halloween and Thanksgiving, yeah. And then how do you feel about each holiday? So how do you typically feel about the holidays? And then also, as we're going through this, just think about, and I'm sure you have been, how you feel about the 2020 holidays. So what we're going to do is, this is the one I'm going to skip. So I'm going to go with this because I want to save a little bit of time here. So I'm going to do a baseline. So these are true and false questions. There's quite a few of them. You can write them down if you like, or just think about them. So the first one is, this is from a standardized test that we use. I look forward to the holidays with genuine pleasure most of the time. True or false? I know how to set a budget for the holiday gifts and stick with it. True or false? Spending a lot of money on my family and friends is not the most important part of the season. True or false? I'm able to be very realistic about what to expect from myself over the holidays. I'm very realistic of what I can expect from others over the holidays. I have a partner to celebrate the holidays with me. My partner and I get along well and enjoy each other's company. My partner and I work well as a team most of the time. I have family that I enjoy spending time with over the holidays. And obviously we could stop and we could talk about holidays, yeah? But just true or false for right now. My family likes and appreciates me. I like and appreciate my in-laws and or step family. I have close friends that I enjoy spending time with over the holidays. I take part in some comforting and pleasant holiday rituals and look forward to them every year. Getting approval is not very important to me. I know healthy ways to cope if I start to feel overwhelmed. I have ways of giving to others in the community. I am not overly scheduled and have a pretty good balance of work, fun, and relaxation. I know how to say no. I am able to schedule downtime for myself on a regular basis. Again, these are true and false, true or false. I eat healthily, drink alcohol moderately or not at all, and get 30 minutes of aerobic exercise daily. So each of those could be a separate true or false. Yeah, I just put them all together. Okay, so true and false for all those. Then we got a second page, little different section coming up here. I am providing care. I am providing care for any ill or disabled family member. True or false? I have had many losses over the last 2 years. I have enough money to cover my basic needs. I had a reasonably happy childhood, fond holiday memories. I am never affected by the holiday blues. And my health physically, mentally, and emotionally is good. Okay, so those are all the true and false ones. Obviously, the ones that you noted as false, those are your stressors. And obviously, the more of those that you have, the more stress you're dealing with, or not dealing with, either way. So it's just kind of a checklist. And so we're starting with that as baseline. Not going to so much discuss that. That's just where we're going to start, because now we're going to move into how to manage these things. And you have the list, so you can use these any way that you like going forward. All right. So the great pumpkin has risen. So expectations versus reality at the holidays. Once the Halloween decorations go up, the holidays begin, as I said earlier. The secret to life is to let go of our expectations, live, love, and laugh, okay? This is really easy to write. This is really easy to say. I said it not to out her, but I said to my mom that she needs to let go of some of the expectations. And she replied to me that life wouldn't be fun if she did that. So it's just it's how we evolve. But expectations bring on undue stress. Enjoy your friends and family and each other's company and great food. So in the typical season, that's what we do, yeah? Perhaps exchange a gift and hope for peace on earth and goodwill to all. So we've moved to actually doing Secret Santa Claus in our family, which is kind of cool. So just buying one gift. So thank you, Linus, Ralphie, George, Frank, Clark, Sparky, Griswold. We'll cover who those guys are if you don't know in later on here. So how to help someone with dementia enjoy the holidays. So what we're going to do now is the slides are going to be very specific to situations. And really what I've done is I've just kind of taken best practices and evidence-based information. It may not be all inclusive, but it's enough to fit on a slide for us here. So adapt the holiday activity to the individual dementia needs. So really knowing the person is important. So prepare together maybe. So maybe do activities together, like mix cookie batter, decorate cookies, open the holiday cards together, or make simple decorations, focus on a task rather than the outcome. So what we mean by that is it's really just doing stuff together. It's not so much how things turn out. It's the time to get. And that's part of the holiday tradition, doing things together, yeah. If we were not doing COVID stuff, hosting a small gathering can be kind of important for, well, you, but also your kapuna. So aim to keep the celebration safe, quiet, and relaxed. So again, with COVID, we need to be careful. I'll get into that in a little bit. We also want to avoid disruptions, yeah, because that can be disturbing to people. So plan a gathering at the best time of the day for the person with dementia. Keep the daily routines in place as much as possible. So for you that are actually working with someone that has any dementia related stuff or any of the aging kind of issues, routine is very, very important. So I know with Kathy, with doing her day program there, the routine is very, very important. The holidays are very important to kind of keep the routines as similar as possible, but avoiding disruption is, we all, whether or not, we have our better times in the day and then other times of the day, and knowing that's very important. So we learned early on when we would go visit our elders, 1 o'clock, not a good time to do that because most of them were taking a nap, yeah? So we learned that 3 o'clock, a little bit better, or early in the morning was even better yet. So planning around those things is important. Provide a quiet place. If you're having guests over, provide a quiet place for the person with dementia or any related issue to have time alone or with people one-on-one rather than all at one time, if that's best for them. It's all. Plan meaningful activities. You might read like your favorite holiday story. I was just telling Kathy that for the Rotary, we have a literary group, and we read literacy group, and we read stories for the keiki. And so I recently did The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. And you know what? I kind of forgot the story. It's a pretty cool ending to that story. So it was kind of fun. Dressed up like Shaka Santa Claus, the whole 9 yards. Look at photo albums together. Now, whether the holidays or not, reading stories and looking at photo albums together is always a wonderful thing to do. Watch your favorite holiday movie. Watch a bunch of movies, Christmas or holiday movies. There's so many of them. Or singing songs. Singing songs is always kind of fun. But Christmas songs are pretty easy to do. If you don't know the words, you can just Google the lyrics really and have a little sing along. Keep outings brief. If you'll be attending holiday gatherings, plan to be brief. I always say make sure you have an escape plan to leave if things get difficult. So plan to be brief or be prepared to leave early if necessary. Make sure there's a place to rest or take a break. You know, with my in-laws, when they were they're resting in peace now, but at the end there, if we were going up someplace, the first question that I always ask is where the bathrooms were. So I always know, yeah. So, okay, that's for dementia. So how do you create a safe and calm space? So a quiet place. So you're gonna see a lot of my pictures. I threw them all in the PowerPoint. That's what makes it so large, I guess. To create an appropriate environment during the holidays for the person with dementia or other issues, social distancing, face masks will likely be required. So that's the first thing you want to consider. If you need to, 9 months now. So folks could mute themselves, that would be great.
The dementia thing.
Please mute yourself. So prepared to keep folks free of the virus is important, but also having an appropriate environment that the person is comfortable in is very important. So that creating a safe and calm space. Tone down the decorations. Now this really depends on the person, but I'll just read this and then I'll talk about that for a second. Tone down the decorations. Avoid blinking lights or large decorative displays that can cause confusion. Avoid decorations that cause clutter or require you to rearrange a familiar room. I found that for some people, they don't mind all of that. They actually really enjoy it. But the thing with blinking lights is blinking lights, if they're real rapid blinking, they can trigger neurological issues and sometimes even trigger seizures. So you want to be careful of that. And you want to just make sure that your decorations kind of fit with who the person is who's going to be enjoying them. So they're not overwhelming. But and then another thing is to use your kapuna's holiday crafts for decorations and decorate together is kind of fun too. Again, it's more about the activity, the outcome not so important. Even if just one Christmas ball gets hung, that's wonderful. And if they were a crafty kind of kapuna, they're going to have decorations. We're down to our last ones of my mother-in-law's. I was just telling my wife it was kind of sad. Termites got to a lot of them, but we were using them for, well, she was using them for a very long time. I was using them for 26 years, putting them up when I decorate the lanai. And people would just be so proud. Our kapuna was just so happy to see their decorations being used. And they're pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. Avoid safety hazards. Substitute electric candles for burning candles. We don't have as much an issue here on the islands with candles, but on the mainland, it's a huge one. So a lot of fires start from candles. At Seattle Mental Health, when we'd be our audits, when folks would come through and do the annual reviews, candles were like the #1 target. No candles, because that's what starts the fire. If you do light candles for some reason, don't leave them unattended. Avoid fragile decorations or decorations that could be mistaken for edible treats. Somebody might try to eat them, such as artificial fruits. Or smaller is even more dangerous, for swallowing. If you have a tree, secure it to the wall, because if somebody falls, as you know, the first thing that happens is you reach for whatever's in front of you to try to brace yourself. If it's a tree, the whole tree's going down. So that's kind of important. That's important anyway, whether you're with kapuna or not. Play your favorite music. Familiar or favorite holiday music can be enjoyable. Adjust the volume to a relaxing, not stressing level. I used to DJ dances, and I found that certain level people dance to, and a certain level people people don't move at all. But you want to make sure it's comfortable. So holiday music is always kind of fun, or just music that people like, right? Watch a holiday classic favorite show or movies together. We talked about that. Charlie Brown Christmas is one of my favorites. Look at family photo albums. We talked about that. You may also have family videos or even 8mm movies of past holidays. It's always fun to kind of relive those stories. We had several years back when Costco first arrived here, a cousin took all the family movies and they put them on a disc, and we're showing it at the, I guess it was New Year's Day, that they were showing it. Oh my God, that was just so much fun to see that and see how everybody looked back in the day. Okay, the other thing that you may or may not have thought about, but preparing holiday visitors, people that come to visit. So preparing holiday visitors for time with an individual with dementia related issues. Here's how we want to do that. So you want to provide an update ahead of time. Let guests know ahead of time about any changes in behavior or memory since their last visit. Providing a recent photo can help people be prepared for the changes in appearance. So I went back, I started out in North Dakota. A lot of family is still there. So I went back last year, and family prepared me for, my mom has a touch of dementia, and just prepared me for that. She's really repeating a lot more, and she forgets. So I got called my brother's name quite often. My brother got called my name quite often. We do look a little bit similar, but that's just a part of it, right? So, but they prepared me before I came for what I was in for. And I'd noticed on the phone that some of that was happening, but it was good to hear that they were aware of it. and let me know. So let people know what's happening. Offer communication tips. Suggest ways for guests to listen patiently, such as not criticizing repeated comments, not correcting errors, and not interrupting. The other thing, it's it's fine if people repeat their stories. Don't get all worked up about that. That's just them reliving what happened. And I might have it in a slide here at some point, but I'll just jump a little bit here and just say that it's kind of like you know your kids when they first start out, they'll watch the same movie over and over and over. Well, later in life, we're going to relive our experiences over and over and over as well. Those are special experiences. So enjoy that. Patience is the biggest. That's probably the most important thing for us with our kapuna, be it the holidays or any time. Just being patient is very important. That's harder for some than others, and it can always be stressful at times. But that's just something to consider. Suggest activities. Tell guests ahead of time what activities you have planned, or suggest something they might bring, such as a photo album again, or family videos again, or movies, or something that they can share, you know, as a something to do with the, even going out for a cup of coffee or something, just some activity that, you know, again, now we're in COVID, so it's different. Let's see, so that is that. So I'll tell you a little bit about this picture. So we had Dr. Warren Wong present a while back here on one of these, and he wanted to do a kapuna holiday stress video. And so I dressed up as Shaka Santa Claus and I went to San Souci Beach and we filmed, and the whole beach came alive as soon as Santa Claus stepped on it. So we had a lot of co-stars. Celebrating the holidays at a care facility. So this is something else you've probably already thought of, but if you haven't, think about. So when my in-laws, or even my father, when they were in a care facility, we kind of had to. So if your family members live in nursing homes or other care facilities, maybe try some of these ideas. So please mute yourself there. You have it. Thank you. Celebrate in the most familiar setting, your kapuna, because a change in environment can cause stress. Consider holding a small family celebration at the facility, if that fits for your kapuna. Now again, we can't now because of COVID, but you might
That's not-
holiday activity.
So, excuse me, somebody is not muted. Could you please make sure you're muted because there's a lot of background noise?
Thank you. So you might participate in holiday activities that are planned for the residents. So most care facilities are going to have activities. We always found that was a nice time with my mother-in-law, to get her out of the room and go, you know, well, we sang Christmas carols one year, all that kind of stuff. It was pretty special. I visited an uncle, and they were actually, they were doing this giant mural on paper that they were going to paste up on a wall for a parade that they were having. And so they're going to post it up on a business, and they were hand and feet painting. And we took him down to watch that. He didn't want to do it, but he was having a blast just watching everybody do it. So it's kind of special way to spend time with someone. Minimize visitor traffic. Arrange for a few, so we said this earlier, but arrange for a few family members to drop by on different days. Large groups can be kind of overwhelming. We certainly experienced that when my mother-in-law first went into hospice, and everybody was concerned. And so, boy, everybody and their brother and uncle, you know, were showing up, and it really got to be too much. And so we had to kind of just help folks monitor, you know, let us know when they're coming so we could let them know if it was a good time or not. All right. So then, probably should have started with this, but taking care of yourself. This is what my other presentations has really been about, self-care. And so taking care of yourself. This is me at the Rotary. So last year I played Shaka Santa Claus 7 times. So my cousin for the Palama settlement said that they wanted a Shaka Santa Claus. And so I got this. I'm wearing the shirt today. So my little nephew is gonna know that I'm Santa Claus now if he sees this. But I decided, so I greeted people at the Rotary. And this year I'm going to read the inspiration on our holiday party. We always have an inspiration at the beginning of the Rotary. And sadly, so our Rotary Club of Honolulu, we meet at the Royal Hawaiian, which we haven't been back to since March. And so, yeah, but we're Zooming. So we're all doing a lot of Zooming. So let's back up. Taking care of ourselves is very, very important. Self-care is crucial for caregivers during the holidays and anytime. But to make the season enjoyable, the first thing is we have to feel good. We have to be doing okay. We have to is kind of strong, but it's helpful if we are. Pick and choose. Focus on holiday activities and traditions that are most important to you. Remember that you can't do it all. So it's important to remember that. So thinking, of course, about your kapuna, what activities they really enjoy, but think about which activities you enjoy as well as you choose what you want to do. Now, again, this year's quite different. Manage others' expectations. Set realistic expectations for what you can contribute to a family holiday celebrations. So we have large gatherings, and of course, if you're caring for someone, you may not have time to do what you used to do for them, or may not even be able to do what you're being asked to do. There just may not be time. So you need to weigh that, and hopefully you can communicate that to folks what you're able to do realistically, so that it's comfortable for you and for everybody else, and most certainly for the kapuna you're caring for. Delegate. So delegate's a big word. Let family and friends help with cleaning or addressing cards or shopping for gifts. Ask for help. It's a huge thing. We'll get to that again later. But that I would say that's one of the hardest things people have, is asking for help. We tend to think that we need to do everything. And I found that sometimes when you ask for help, people are really grateful that you'd even think to ask them, rather than feeling burdened. So just consider that. Make time for yourself. Very important. Make time for yourself. Ask a family member or friend to give you a break so that you can go enjoy some holiday outing or shopping or whatever it is. That might not be the most relaxing, but well, something without caregiver responsibilities. There may be somebody in the family, there may even be somebody that's visiting for a holiday that would love to spend time with the kapuna on their own and do an activity. And if you feel comfortable with that and they feel comfortable with that, ask them to give yourself a break. Take time to yourself. Trust your instincts. So if you're feeling something's wrong, it's probably wrong. I would say 99.9% of the time, if you think it's wrong, there is something wrong with it. So trust your instincts. Simplify celebrations. We've talked about this earlier. Planning ahead and setting boundaries can help you minimize stress and create a pleasant holiday experience for you and the person that you're helping out, be it dementia or otherwise. So I'm sure you've noticed, and it's just common sense, but what you're feeling, people around you are going to be experiencing. And so it's important that you are feeling good about what you're doing. It doesn't mean, so again, the reality of mindfulness is that it doesn't mean that everything's going to be perfect, but you need to find a way, hopefully, to care for yourself so that you can care for other people in a comfortable way. So it's like I said in the last presentation, when we're smiling, everybody else is smiling as well. But we want to get to that point that we can kind of do that. And certainly when things are stressful, it's okay to acknowledge that it's hard or that it's stressful, because that's a reality. And then within that, we want to try to, as best as possible, figure out solutions to that situation so that we can kind of move forward comfortably. And for the holidays, a lot of it's planning ahead, okay? Sometimes life is what happens when we're busy making the plans. So we also need to be flexible and realize that things aren't always going to be perfect. All right, what do we got here? So here's some suggestions for happy holiday activities. So pretty basic stuff. I'm sure you thought about some of these. While some traditions may no longer be practical or possible, especially with COVID, new traditions can be started. So like I said to Kathy earlier, endings are really just the beginnings of something new. So we can set some new things up. Simple repetitive tasks are safe and fun to hold with your loved ones in dementia, such as activities as following. So So simple things you could do is take some popcorn or berries and string garlands and make garlands that you could hang up. Even if you don't have a tree, you can hang them up. I used to hang things up on our plants in the house when we didn't have trees. I decorate every year. Linking some paper chains, that's pretty easy to do. You can either staple them or tape them. Making wreaths. So I'm sure Kathy does a lot of these in her program. So making wreaths with folks, creating photo albums. You could always take photos. I love taking photos from like I'm doing here. These are just photos I have on my computer that I put in the PowerPoint. Try to put a little holiday spin on them, right? Make a file or a video. And like I said earlier, baking cookies, brownies, or other holiday treats. It's always kind of fun. Writing and addressing greeting cards, listening to holiday music, watching holiday movies. You'll see I say that a lot in here. Singing holiday songs. You could always be singing songs. Reading holiday stories. It also helps to keep expectations in line with reality. If the perfect family get-together isn't in the cards, you can still look forward to spending time together and enjoying the holiday in other ways. Plan something special. Try to stick to the regular schedule. So other things in the schedule, you need to stay on schedule with the other things. Meals, medication, those kinds of things. Don't get derailed from all of that. All right. So Kathy, are there any questions in that section? Or if people do? And then I'll do the holiday trivia and we'll move on.
Okay.
And Kathy, the answers too, I think.
I'm gonna mute myself again because there is one question, Rick.
Okay.
I'm sorry, hold on. Says, under taking care of yourself slide, you listed trust your instincts if you feel something isn't right. Could you give an example of this?
Oh my gosh, I can give tons.
Okay.
So I'm very intuitive, and so I tend to kind of feel uncomfortable when something's going to happen ahead of time. And anybody that knows me knows that if I say something's wrong, that something's going to happen. So I predicted earthquakes. I predicted the power outage when just when Obama got first elected here on the island. That one's kind of a fun story. We actually just sat down to happy hour, ordered our poo-poos and our drinks, and it was at the Lava Lounge, I think it was called. It was brand new at the time. I mean, that was a long time ago, 12 years ago now, yeah. And we were sitting out at happy hour, sun was setting, it was just beautiful, band was playing. And I said to my wife, something's wrong, something's going to happen. This doesn't feel right. And next thing you know, the power went out for 16 hours on the island, yeah. So my wife said, what are you, the devil? But we tend to feel uncomfortable when things are wrong. All of us have a way that we kind of experience things that are not right. Many of us experience our instincts in different ways. So what I'm saying is when things don't feel right, we need to kind of deal with that. So another example would be maybe our loved one that we're caring for, maybe, you know, for a few days, they just haven't felt like getting out of bed, and that's not their normal routine. That would be an indication that something has shifted. Your instinct telling you that something's wrong, or maybe they're not eating all of a sudden for some reason. Those are times you'd want to get a hold of the doctor to report what's happening, right? Or maybe when somebody visits, your kapuna that you're caring for is noticeably uncomfortable. Something is going on that's making them very uncomfortable. You may want to intervene, just say, you know what, maybe this isn't a good time, you know, or, you know, try to sort, you know, what needs to happen. Or
Just like me in Walmart yesterday when there was no crowd. That did not feel right.
right. So I was at Safeway the other day, and I was in the freezer section. I don't remember what I was looking. Oh, it was the ice cream section, because so I was looking at ice cream, and this two people decided to reach over me, and they had no mask on. And I was like, oh my God. Right. So that didn't feel right. So I just left. And I came back half hour later when nobody was there to get my ice cream. So you got to go with your instincts. If it doesn't feel right, chances are something is wrong. So the other is we can overreact as well. So you have to know yourself too. So, you know, if I try to predict something, I cannot. It's just when things are not right, you know, I sense it. Now, I'm also a mental health clinician, so I do a lot of assessments. So I also know certain signs that I need to watch for certain things. Does that help? Does that answer the question? We could do a whole presentation on instincts. Any other questions? Oh, you're muted, Kathy.
That was it. Thank you.
Okay, so here's our first trivia. So holiday classic shows that we keep talking about. So I don't know if you know this, Charlie Brown Christmas first aired December 9th, 1965. I don't know if you heard this, it's all over the media and definitely on Facebook. So Apple bought up the rights to the Peanuts holiday shows. I don't know if you noticed, we didn't have the Great Pumpkin, the Halloween special for Charlie Brown, because you can only watch it if you had a Apple TV. So what I've heard recently for the Christmas shows is that PBS actually partnered with Apple to be able to show them. So luckily we owned them. So The Christmas Story, do you know that movie? That hit the theaters November 18th, 1983. You'll shoot an eye out. Do you remember that movie? That might be my favorite one. It's a Wonderful Life, December 20th, 1946. Miracle on 45th Street first aired on June 4th, 1947. Scrooged premiered in Los Angeles December 17th, 1988, and followed by its public release on the 23rd, 1988. And that's the one with Bill Murray. Yeah. National Lampoon's Christmas, December 1st, 1989. I crack up whenever I see that one. I really like the lingerie scene where the sun comes. Elf, that aired November 7th, 2003. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was December 6th, 1964. And Frosty the Snowman, December 7th, 1969. So a lot of these shows, each one of us is going to have associations with, as well as our kapuna, that familiarity. So just putting those on, you know, or watching them when they're on being aired, you know, is a real special time. All right. So this is at my cousin's place, New Year's Day. So managing mental health during the holidays. So for some, the holidays are the most wonderful time of the year, right? But for others, it's the most stressful time. This time of the year can intensify struggles for people that have depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, or other mental illnesses. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a large number of folk that pass away around the holidays. So it's an ending and new beginning kind of thing. And so there's a lot of association that goes with the holidays. Everything seems to be heightened and more intense at the holidays. So a lot of things are, because it's very bright lights, right? So from Christmas music to the lights to increased traffic and crowds, not this year, as Kathy was pointing out. We also put we put greater expectations. There's the expectations on ourselves and on others. This can be challenging for most people, but especially for those who struggle with anxiety. Anxiety is a cascading thing that happens within our body. If somebody has generalized anxiety, it's very hard to manage until you really learn how to manage. Instincts come into that as well. It's a physical thing that happens with us. And once it starts, unless we know how to know ourselves and know well enough how to manage that anxiety, it can really consume us. According to a recent survey by the American Psychology Association, 38% of people said their stress level increases during the holidays. Participants in that study listed a lack of time or money, commercialism, the pressures of gift giving, and family gatherings as their top stressors. So a few years ago, like I said, our family went to we're fairly large, even though we've lost a lot of our kapuna, we've gained a lot of kids, a lot of keiki. So we moved to Secret Santa Claus, and that really reduced stress for a lot of people who felt they had to give a gift to everybody. I still write Christmas cards. I sent 100 of them out this year. For some reason, we've grown. We were like, for many years, 45, now we're up to 100 people. I don't stress about it though. I actually start writing my Christmas card very early and I just modify it as I get closer. And it's just a little production that happens here. And then we just send them out. Yeah. So that 38%. So this was before COVID. The levels right now, and the sadness of the holidays being shifted, I would predict that we're much higher than 38% right now as far as being affected during the holidays. And we've already gone through Thanksgiving, so many of us already have experienced what that means. Although I got to say, I woke up this morning and I heard that billions have traveled for the holidays, and I imagine it'll happen also for Christmas. And I'm not going to politicize, but I am going to say we need to plan better if we're going to get past this pandemic. So we're in for a tough road here going forward, sadly. And really, it's just common sense. I'll just leave it at that. All right. This is one of my Christmas cards from last year. Some people get very stressed over the holidays, as we said, believing the fun is in their hands. They're the people take charge of activities. A lot of people don't enjoy it because they're so busy making it fabulous for everyone else, taking on the mental load, the entertainment coordinator. Not so much of that this year, yeah. But if you're that person, you know what that is. So I was telling Kathy at the beginning here, I used to do quarterly dances in Seattle at Seattle Mental Health for our developmentally disabled program of 1,200 clients. And so one of them would be the winter holiday. So the Christmas gathering would have Santa Claus and everything. But I'd raise the money. I would organize the food. I would organize the decorations. I'd organize the interns and the staff to decorate, kind of like what you just did, Kathy, with your trees and everything, I imagine. And I would even put the music together as playlist, DJ it, and deal with the timing of when Santa Claus arrives and setting up how to safely get pictures, all that stuff, right? A lot of stress. It'd take me like 2-3 weeks to recover after each one of these dances. There'd be 400 people that would show up. It was just massive. I was going to put a picture of one of the dances in here, but I never got around to that. Christmas decorations stir up feelings of pure joy and can literally modify some happy hormones. So on the one hand, for some people, it's stressful. On the other hand, it actually triggers our happy hormones in our body. It creates a neurological shift that can produce happiness. Christmas decorations will spike the dopamine, a feel-good hormone, and the other happy hormones as well. So many of us, that association, this is all about association, but even here, but definitely on the mainland, because as soon as they fall back with the clocks, it's getting dark at 4:30 there. I watched the Oregon Ducks and the Oregon State Beavers game yesterday. And it was so foggy that you could barely see them through the camera if anybody watched it. But the Ducks, because they have a different uniform every time, had these neon yellow lights, uniforms. They're yellow and green, but mostly yellow. So I said to my wife, oh, they must have planned that. But so that brightness, brightens it up. During the holiday time, stress is ratcheted up by a number of factors. It's ratcheted up by lack of money, shopping, decisions, deadlines, parties, strained family relationships. That's a big one. Some folks don't have the best family dynamics. Pressures to please family and friends with the perfect holiday, the media bombardment of holiday commercials and all that stuff, smiling families, and friends enjoying holiday festivities. So I'm just going to put in there. So mental health wise, if a person is struggling with a mental health issue that's not being treated or not being managed, when everybody else is having fun and they're struggling with their depression or their issues, they can be really unbearable. So it heightens it, if you will. So it's just something to consider. You've heard the sayings, everybody has a story. Everybody has something that's going on. So I can get real sad about who passed away over the holidays if I let myself go there. My wife can as well. And so we recognize that in each other, and we give each other the space that we need to work that through, but we also give each other the support we need to work that through. And knowing the difference, that's instincts, knowing the difference. So I know if I go to my wife and say, what's wrong? And she says, I don't want to talk about it. we're not going to talk about it right then. Yeah. My instinct is, okay, fine. But I might go make some tea, bring it back later, set it down and sit quietly and read the paper. And then she'll start talking eventually. I'm real extroverted, so it's just the opposite. And my wife knows if I get quiet that something's wrong. And then she'll say, and she did the other day, so what's going on? Okay, so then we talk, yeah? So just recognizing that. And folks, same with our kapuna we're caring for. Even though it's dementia, you will see the moods, and recognizing them and knowing what those are is very important. Okay. All right, here we go with the holidays. So just think about this. You can chat it if you want. What will your 2020 holiday season look like? So I was telling Kathy, you may have heard me say, but we Zoomed with, there were 22 logons. So we Zoomed with about 30, 40 of our family from around the world for Thanksgiving. And I have to say that was pretty magical. So we typically get together. The person that usually hosts our Thanksgiving, so we have an aunt that hosts the Thanksgiving, and she was in tears when it was her turn to check in. We just asked 3 simple questions. What have you learned during the pandemic? How did you pivot from it? And what did you learn about yourself? What are you thankful for? I guess those were the 4 questions we asked each of us. So we started from the elder in each family pod and worked our way down and went around the world. So we had Tokyo, we had Thailand, we had, we were all over the world. Sadly, the East Coast, it was too late for them. So we couldn't have some of them on, but what does your holiday season look like? And if you haven't thought about it, it might be good to start thinking about what Christmas, looks like for you. The other thing we did that was really, I thought really special is I'm with Meals on Wheels, Hawaii Meals on Wheels, and they had a fundraiser. I said this earlier to Kathy, some of you heard this, but so they had a turkey giveaway through Zippy's actually did it, and we sold out of turkeys. So I started my day by going up and picking up our turkey meals. It was a whole turkey with all the fixings. We got enough food to carry us to Christmas here from that. But we actually raised money from it, and it's just a really good cause. We didn't have to cook or anything. And then traditionally, I like to watch the football games, and so I got the 2 games in before I saw that the last game was COVID canceled, which is unfortunate. That's going to be on Tuesday now. So it's like, oh no, because by the time I actually finished with picking up turkey, doing the meal and everything, and doing the Zoom, I was ready to watch the game, and it wasn't on. Like, oh. So there was that. So obviously we're still dealing with the coronavirus. So does that mean that you shop online rather than going into the stores? So Kathy said that, a lot of people weren't out there for Black Friday yesterday. So probably a lot more online shopping. I got to warn you though, I've been seeing that there's a lot of people stealing packages off people's porches. So from their front doors. So beware. You might want to have a neighbor grab the package for you if they see it, so it's not sitting out, yeah? Or you can have trusted people. So will you stay safe at home? So like I said, billions have not. So we know it's going to spike. So 2 weeks from Thursday, or even from, well, some of them started traveling as early as last Friday. So, we're in for quite a spike here. So again, I'm from North Dakota originally, and North Dakota right now leads the world for COVID outbreak. Folks there are, so because we have such harsh weather conditions there, and most of them grew up in kind of farm country, they're very independent. And so they're real bullheaded, and they don't want to be told anything. And sadly, I say this on my Facebook to them, you can't see the virus, so obviously you're not even aware, what the potential is. And even if you're asymptomatic, you're spreading it. So it's very, very serious. So at this point, as of last week, I don't know what it is this week, there's a 15% chance that you could catch the coronavirus in North Dakota, 15%. And that's obviously going to go up over the holidays, because I guarantee a lot of folks had get-togethers. My family, lucky, they all are just very mask conscious and social distancing. Okay. So if you're staying at home this year and you're shopping online, do you think that's less stress for this holiday season? I know that there's probably some sadness. But as far as the anxiousness, maybe that's reduced and maybe that's replaced with maybe some of the sadness of the change. Or maybe for some people, they're very relieved that they don't have to do all that we typically do. So next year is the year of the ox, by the way. So my metaphor for that is that the ox is going to drag the rat out and hopefully ox in a better time. So the ox is much more reliable than the year of the rat that we just are leaving. So I'm hoping. All right. So I had to put something in for COVID. So over the hills and through the woods to grandmother's house, somebody decides to go. Billions. So that's a road in North Dakota that the brother took that picture. So if folks decide that they have to get together for some reason, what's recommended is that everybody involved quarantine for 14 days. 14 days before and 14 days after. Now I'm not advocating, as you know, to get together, but if in the station wagon the family goes and takes off, all involved should be COVID test freed. Now, it's worth noting, just because you got tested, that only tests you up to that time period. If you actually, encounter the virus later, you've still got it. So I got COVID tested for a surgery and was free. That didn't mean that by the time I got to the surgery, I was still free, because it was on a Friday and the surgery was on a Tuesday. So just know. So I know with Hawaii, with tourism, there's a lot of talk about being tested ahead, but then also being screened when they arrive here. And I have to say, even for the level of COVID that we have on the island and the issues that we're dealing with, our island has done pretty good so far. But that doesn't mean that it can stay good. North Dakota didn't have any issues up until it did. And when it did, it was bad. So use gloves, hand sanitizer, wear a mask, social distance, and wash your hands frequently. So I'm a real advocate. I was, like I said, field medical corpsman, and we didn't have hand sanitizer back in the day. And so washing your hands was very, 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 to me, very important. And that's with warm, soapy water. And when you wash your hands, so at the beginning we were saying 2 verses of Happy Birthday. I now say 2 verses of Jingle Bells. And wash them frequently. So your biggest, if you decide to travel, the biggest risk is at the airport, where the situation is far less predictable. There's more people, fewer controls. So what I'm hearing from people that had to travel for various reasons, no, it wasn't many, but was that once people got past the doorways, they were taking their masks off. That's also what happens in North Dakota. They were checking at the Walmart for people to have masks on, or at the Costco, but as soon as they get in the store, they take the mask off. So now they've had to put, they have roving elves walking around that kindly remind people to put the mask on. But I've seen some horrible videos of people having meltdowns when they've been asked to put their masks on. So very unsafe. The plane. So not all planes are requiring you to wear a mask. Some are just recommending. That picture was actually taken of a group of North Dakotans traveling not that long ago. So you can't predict what's going to happen. Even if there's no travel involved, gathering indoors with extended family and friends can be risky, especially if there's an older or higher risk person in your group. So as you know, if somebody's struggling with cancer or other kinds of issues, they're very much at high risk. So anybody that's had any lung issues is at high risk. Indoors, so the issue, I was a corpsman, I'm not a doctor, but what we're hearing is that the aerosols of people just breathing indoors, they build up. And so it's very risky. Now, again, we're very fortunate here in Hawaii. We can be outdoors, and that makes a big difference because the air can kind of move. The safest thing to do, though, of course, is to stay home with the people in your household, your pod, your group that you're always around. Virtual Zoom with family. And my saying this year is, we miss you a Merry Christmas and have a healthy holiday. That's what I put on my Christmas letter. So there you go. So people say face masks don't always work. Well, neither do parachutes, but if I had to jump out of a plane, I'd want to wear one. All right. Any questions up to this point? Nope, you're muted.
We have a couple of nice comments, so I'd like to read those.
Oh, okay.
Mahalo nui, Rick, for this. I'm taking a lot of notes that I've been experiencing the last week. These tips are helping me a lot. I was so concerned about the effect of the holidays on my mom, I forgot about me.
Ooh.
I fell apart. You were sharing all the things my husband and I talked about yesterday. I am so happy to be part of this wonderful series. You all have helped me to grow. I appreciate it.
No,
And that was
thank
Mapawana. Thank you, Mapawana.
well, I'm
And
glad
then Ben says, mahalo for an extraordinary resource. Holidays no longer have a specific meaning for my wife. However, there is a lot going on around us, and this is very helpful in shielding her from stressors.
oh, wonderful.
And then Lisa said, this year will be one of the least stressful holiday seasons, thanks to things I learned here.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, I really appreciate that. You guys, you can share this with anybody you like. I've really tried to make it pretty easy to understand without the narrative, so feel free. I took this picture, Diamond Head Lighthouse, several years ago, and then added the balls. So, so not so much trivia, but some other ways to get into the holiday spirit this year.
Besides alcohol?
Yeah, you know, if you want to drink, drink. I find the next day is kind of hard though, if you're not careful. So listen to, yeah, so eggnog, it's a tradition, yeah, for those that like it. Listen to Christmas music, watch Christmas movies. This is gonna be a little trivia thing here. Deck the halls with balls of holly, decorate. Make your to-do list and set your budget. So even though you're shopping online, I warn you, you can get really carried away online too. A lot easier to find stuff online, so set your budget. Look for free, inexpensive activities close by. Not so hard this year, just Netflix. I have Prime also. Have a get together with friends if it's safe. So I guess right now where we're at is 5 people can get together, but I would be careful with that. Wrap gifts, do some baking, like I said, eat a cookie. All right, so here's the trivia part. Name 3 of your favorite holiday songs. What are your favorite holiday songs? And you can share if you like, but just think about your favorite holiday songs. Name 3 of your favorite holiday movies.
Miracle on 34th Street.
Isn't that a cute movie? Gosh,
The old
the old one, absolutely. Yeah, that list that I had, those are all my favorite. I have to say A Christmas Story is my favorite, but that's just because that's my Wonder Years right there. So I really relate to that one. I think I live that. They probably, I should get royalties.
That's Scott's favorite movie too, and I don't care for it, but that's just me.
Yeah, it's a guy thing.
So,
Yeah. So what are your favorite kind of decorations? Do you have any favorite ones within your collection? You know, I couldn't find mine this year. I had a Seahawk Christmas ball. I don't see it, so I'm a little bit concerned.
uh-oh.
Yeah. Some 49er fan must have took it.
My favorite decorations are my collection of nutcrackers. I have 64 of them.
Wow.
So the biggest part of decorating is putting all those boogers out.
Wow. I have this Shaka Santa Claus that has a surfboard that's about, I guess that's about 3 feet tall. So I have that on top of something. I always just love that. It cracks me up. Off to the beach with Shaka Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And so then also, what are your favorite holiday events? So what are your favorite holiday events that you used to enjoy? And then what ones can you actually enjoy this year safely?
That's a good point right there, Rick. My usual holiday event is to go to Atlanta to visit family every year.
Sure.
This year I'm not going home, so that was my original home. So making new traditions is important, especially after my meltdown yesterday about the shopping thing.
Right.
You know, and I'm talking more to my grandkids and my daughter than I ever have. So that's a good thing. And we'll
Yep.
zoom in on Christmas Day and maybe even more, you know, more often than that. But so just making new holiday traditions this year.
Yeah. You know, and I find that on the Zoom, so Zooming with the family, although it's not the same as being with the whole group, it actually, the difference is actually pretty significant and cool also. You get a lot more intimate with each person because you're one-on-one with the person without the interruptions.
Yeah.
Um,
So
Sweet.
Cindy says that her favorite Christmas Eve, I mean, her favorite holiday event is Christmas Eve and opening gifts with the grandkids.
yeah, and that's special, right? Yeah. So even that one can do on Zoom.
Mhm.
You can still open the gift. What I would say, if you do it on Zoom, make sure you don't turn the background on. Just leave it natural with the room, because then you can see everything that's happening. When you have the background, things fade in and out. Just a tip that Kathy and I have learned through our Zoom period here. A lot of Zoom.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anybody else? Anything cool?
I'll tell you about my sister's Thanksgiving celebration. She lives in a high rise in Atlanta, and they have a wonderful rooftop gathering place with, you know, tables and chairs and all this other neat stuff. So, you know, they're not going out, nobody's going out for dinners or anything like that right now. So she's got 3 friends in the building, and they all had Thanksgiving dinner together, socially distanced. They brought their own food, they brought their own wine, and, you know, stayed
Wow.
apart on the roof, but they still got to be with friends for the holiday. So that's a new tradition for her. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm noticing the time, so let's see here. So positive holiday mindsets. Just little sayings I like. Christmas isn't just a day, it's a frame of mind. This here is the Club 100, the annual Christmas party. One of the Shaka Santa Claus appearances. The lady, in the front row, second to the right, in the black with the beautiful lei there, she took these hats and she decorated them. Those were our centerpieces. And then Shaka Santa Claus called bingo, and we gave those away as part of the bingo prizes.
Fun.
Club 100. So that's the folks that served in the 100th Battalion. My father-in-law served in the 100th Charlie Company. Let us keep Christmas beautiful without greed. So lately I've been kind of just throwing around power and greed is really the root of all issues. Love, thoughtfulness, very important. So this is what happened when Shaka Santa Claus first stepped on Kaimana Beach, Sans Souci. I always qualify this. My wife took the picture, so relax.
Okay.
There were a lot of elves that day. There were a lot of elves that day. So Kathy, to your earlier question, so I asked every single person if they were naughty or nice. So what I discovered is every single adult said naughty, every single kid said nice.
Of course.
Christmas will always be loved as long as we stand heart to heart and hand to hand. And then finally, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yes, it is. Thank you. All right.
So-
I'm sorry. You want to wrap up?
Probably should. Let me see what I have next year.
I don't have any more questions, but I do want to say, oh, Ben says that it looks like the beard is a better magnet than a cute dog on the beach.
I put in my Christmas card. If I'd known about Shaka Santa Claus in my single years.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Too funny. You guys, I wanted to tell everybody, thank you so much for joining us for these sessions. It's been a pleasure to present them for you. Our speakers have been amazing, and I've gotten some really nice comments from everybody. So we appreciate you being here. And I hope you have a safe and happy Christmas. I'm going to say Merry Christmas, and hope to see you next year. I'm working on another series for the next year as well. So I'll keep in touch. Keep in touch with me also. If you have any questions, call me anytime. And again, if you want to be part of the caregiver support group on December the 7th, send me an email and I'll put you on the list for the link. But Rick, thank you so much. That was wonderful and so needed right now after I meltdown yesterday after Walmart. So I really appreciated that.
If you really want a holiday cheer, dial that 951-262-3062 number. It's toll free. You'll find yourself doing it a lot if you need a holiday pickup.
Really?
It's Santa Claus's number. It's hilarious.
Okay, I'm getting some other comments here. A lot of thank yous, Rick. And the number again is on your screen, Mapu. Oops, he took it away.
Right here.
Say that number again.
So right here. So it's the last page of your PowerPoint. So the number for Chris Kringle is 951-262-3062. And if you have Keiki, this address here doesn't require a postage. You send it to Santa Claus, you put a return address on. Santa Claus will always reply.
Yay.
So that was my last slide, but I knew we wouldn't have time to get to. So I wanted to make sure I pointed it out, though.
Yeah, I'm calling.
It's hilarious.
If you weren't able to pull up the slide presentation, it was a different kind of link. I'm trying to put it in a zip file so I can email it because it was too big to email or to send to you in an email as a PDF. So just let you know, it'll be available as well. But thank you again so much. Merry Christmas. And we look forward to a better next year. Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you guys. Bye. Merry Christmas.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay on until everybody's gone because I'd like to see everybody.
Okay. I figure out how to get out of it.
Yeah.
There it is.
There you go.
All right. Aloha.
Bye, Rick. Thank you.
Bye.
Talk to you soon. I'm looking at all your messages. Same to you, Doreen. Thank you, San. Hey, Karen. Hi. You take care, everybody. I'll miss you. Oops, wait. Thank you, Mona. Okay, I'm closing this out now. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas again. Take care. Stay safe.